The Baltimore Ravens come in second place, falling short to the Eagles yesterday, 24-19. I'm not going to give a full recap of the game. Hendo and myself recapped the game last night, and let me forewarn you, please go over and watch that live stream if you have not yet. Let me tell you, make sure that you buckle up because you will be in for a bit of a bumpy ride. But today, I just really want to share some thoughts that I have about the state of this team as I have time to ponder and think about where we are and the few games that are remaining. Wanted to come on. I'm not going to be here before you long, but it was tough yesterday, okay? It was really tough for me. As most of you know, I am new to this live streaming thing, and I don't really know how to kind of like gather myself, bring it all together in one cohesive piece after a loss like that immediately after the show or after the game. But I did it yesterday with the help of Hendo from the Rogue Pod. Make sure you go over and subscribe to his channel. But today, I like to have some time to allow the sting, right? The pain, the hurt, the anger, frustration, whatever you want to call it. I like to allow it to sit with me for a bit. And it's done that. Kind of not in a really good space for my thoughts in terms of where we are as a team. But before I get into that, I want to say hello, give a warm welcome to those who've already joined in the chat. Thank you so much. I see you, Agro Valley Farm. I see you, Jeff J. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. And Kamal Porter, yeah, he said he's over yesterday, now inching to play the Giants. I'm slowly starting to try to turn the page, Kamal. I'm trying. And I think this is why I wanted to kind of come on and give my final thoughts as to, where we are and a look ahead. So I'll start with this. The first takeaway is it seems as though the direction of this team for the Ravens, we expect Lamar Jackson to do it all. And was he great yesterday? He was not. He missed his receivers, overthrown passes. There was a fumble or two at the hands of Lamar. It just was not a stellar game for him. And that is something that we have to accept, that there are going to be good games, great games even, and there are going to be some not so great ones. But one thing that I took away from that is I don't look at just stats alone, and we'll get into some stats in just a bit. But I like to, most of you know, or if you've been on my channel for a while, I see some new avatars. But if you've been here for a while, I'm very analytical, and I don't just say, oh well, we lost, or Lamar didn't play good, or he didn't have a good game. I like to look at the why. Because if you don't take a few moments to really dissect what happened and why it happened, you're bound to have history repeat itself. That's just how I think. That's me. So I looked at the why, and I wanted to kind of make sure that I was speaking correctly before I came on here. And yesterday, a couple of people in the chat said our O-line held up pretty well for the most part. Oh, okay. I've been kind of looking at film this morning. I've also been watching who I call, a guru at it, Coach Evans. Make sure you go over and subscribe to Sip to Tally Films, and realizing that our O-line did not hold up very well. We had plays and we had instances where they did good, but I mean, overall, Lamar Jackson was pressured all night. And I say night, and we played at 4:00 in the afternoon. You know what I mean. He was pressured for the most of the game. He barely had time to get out there and do what Lamar Jackson does. That's not an excuse to say, Okay, why are you overthrowing your targets? Why are you missing wide receivers? Why aren't you seeing a wide open Rashad Bateman early in the game before he went out with an injury, right? But you have to take a look at it in its entirety. And you can't parse the O-line from Lamar Jackson, because a lot of his success is going to be dependent on how good this O-line plays. And we did not do a good job yesterday. Coach Evans posted on X the grades. Go over and check out Coach Evans on X. Give him a follow. But he posted the PFF grades for each respective O-line member, and they were atrocious. I think Daniel Falele was in the 40s. The 40s. But yet the Ravens decided along the way that, yes, this is going to be the best thing for the Ravens, for our team, for Lamar Jackson, for us to entrust this offensive line in the hands of rookies and or inexperienced players. And that's what we have. For a while, the Ravens went on a really good run, a stretch of games where we were winning, and it was okay. But what happens when you go against a stout and elite defense, a defensive line like what we saw yesterday? What happens? Ask those hard questions. Ask those difficult questions. Why did it happen? Because we saw the weaknesses manifested on full display yesterday. So that's the first takeaway for me. And at this point in the season, I don't believe that we're in a position to make changes to this offensive line. But the change in terms of bringing in another player, signing someone, I don't know. I don't think we are. But what we can do, what is in our control, is who we put on the field at any given moment. And you can't convince me with the PFF grades that we received as an offensive line. There's nothing you can say to me right now. I'm standing 10 toes flat-footed. Yes, flat-footed. I'm standing 10 toes flat-footed, hands down. You're not going to change my mind on this. There's no way you can convince me that Ben Cleveland would not have been a better option. But yet we leave him on the bench. And we keep riding with Daniel Falele. We keep going. PFF grade of 40-something, 48, 49 and all. And that's okay. John G., I'm going to ban you from the show. Let me just let you know that type of commentary is just unacceptable and it's unwelcome here. But I wish you the best on your journey. Now, going back to what I'm trying to keep I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat as well. Thank you all so much for joining. If you do me a favor really quickly, go ahead and take 2.5, hit the like button, double tap. Yes, this is a vertical live stream, so double tap that thumbs up and give me a like. Thank you, Just Tornado, for being here. Funky Homo Sapien, good to see you. The O-line got exposed by a real D-line. That's why Lamar was off. Bingo. Spot on. Spot on. Absolutely. Hi, from India. Wow, welcome. Mohan Raja. I hope I pronounced your name right. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully you'll come along the journey and support our Baltimore Ravens here. Don Royal, thanks for being here. I just saw all 22 offensive line was bad. See? This is what I'm saying. I didn't want to make such a blanket, bold statement last night. I had a feeling that I was right. But again, the game goes by so fast. And, like I'm trying to do live play-by-play. I miss some things. I'm not watching every single second. But from what I saw, I was like, no, you can't convince me. You cannot convince me that we were good. Makari is giving up 60% pressure rate. I was going to address it. Thank you for reminding me. I missed it. 60% pressure rate. Why was Lamar Jackson scrambling? Why was Lamar under duress? Why was Lamar not the Lamar that we know? Well, look at his O-line. You've got a D line coming after you, ready to feast, and your offensive line isn't really helping you. They're not giving you an opportunity. But that brings me to point number 2. It's not all on the O line. This is not. So I don't want to make this about just, the O line is horrible and that's the reason we lost the game. No, I mentioned last night, and I'll say it again here. There's enough blame to go around. There is. Let me go back to point number 2. Point number 2 is you have to look at the fact that our coaching staff, and I'm going to dial into to Todd Monken, knows what this O-line is. You're the offensive coordinator. You should know, okay? You know what this O-line is. You know what that defensive line is because you should have watched film. You should have been studying. You should have been in the lab. You should know this is a top defense, one of the best. This D-line is coming for you, okay? But what do? You continue to scheme up these deep route passing plays with an O-line that can't stand up, with an O-line that can't hold its own. That's your answer? Why are we not? Now, see, I left my mug downstairs. I have questions mug downstairs. I should have brought it upstairs, but I didn't. But I have questions. And in the chat, if you can answer this, let me know. Help me out. Why is it that we are going up against a really good defensive line, a good defense period, but mainly focused on the D line, right? Why is it that we are continuing to have these deep passes? That's the play that we're going to. That takes time. You can be successful with a deep ball. And we were a couple of times. Yes, a couple of times it worked. But if we are talking the majority of the time, you're going to need an excellent offensive line. You're going to need a top 5 offensive line to be successful continuously with a deep ball. So why didn't we run Derrick Henry more? Or why did we not rely on short, intermediate passes more? That's my question. That is my question. So that's point number 2. That's takeaway 2. I see you. Thank you, MDT Sports, Lonely Therapy. Glad you're here. Ramsey J, Greg Roman all over again. Mercy. Don't get me started. Ooh, don't get me started on that. Don Royal says Ravens Gatekeeper channels always protecting Harbaugh. How about Derrick Henry get 30 carries? How about that? Ouch. Just Tornado. Scheme them up. You have to scheme them up to win, to be successful. I see Big Reg host a Big Boy Talk. Hey, Big Reg, thanks for being here. Rave Kingdom. Okay, your phone was messing up. You couldn't even talk much on the call-in show. Oh, I got to go watch it on replay. I didn't have time last night, and I was kind of in a mood last night. I wasn't my normal bubbly self. Okay, but you mean to tell me that Todd Monken, in all of his years of experience, doesn't know that simple fact that if you have an O-line I'm going to give them a C-? Tell me what grade. Drop a quick grade in the chat. Not just yesterday, because I can give them an F yesterday, or D-. But overall, this season, drop it in the chat real quick. Let me know what grade you give this offensive line through the first 12 games of the season. Let me know. I'm going to give them C-, teetering on a D+. But if you, Todd Monken, know that, why are we not using our players more effectively to ensure that, number one, Lamar Jackson doesn't continuously get sacked? I think he was sacked 3 or 4 times. I can't recall. And why aren't we scheming our players up to be successful? That's what bothers me the most. The deep ball wasn't going to work against this defense. Repeatedly, it wasn't. Like I said before, if you're just now tuning in, welcome. But repeatedly, the deep ball was not going to work because the offensive line had to hold up long enough for the routes to develop. And if the offensive line did not do that, then you have too much pressure. You're going to have off time. Your throws are going to be inaccurate. There's going to be timing that's off. There's going to be all of that because you have pressure in your face as the quarterback. And what do? Mistakes are going to be made. So we need to be smarter as an organization in order for us to really take this team where we all want to see us go, which is to the Super Bowl. Ooh, okay. Let me see some of the grades that are coming in. Just Tornado said, it's Mercy Monday, so I'll leave Harbaugh alone. Thank you for giving him some mercy, but I'm coming for him in just a bit. I have 2 more points, and then we are getting out of here. But she said, if you had to break this into percentages, where would you place the percentage of error? Excellent question, Tora. Thank you. Percentage of error. I'm going to place this, if I had to break it into 2 categories, players and coaches, I'm going to give this maybe 50, 55, 45, 55 to coaching, 45 to players. And I'll explain that in just a bit. Stick around. You'll want to hear my explanation if you're just now tuning in. Don Royal asked, did I see Harb's answer about Deontay Johnson? Do y'all see my notes? Did you guys come in here and sneak in and see my notes? We're going to talk about that. And that's point number 4 when I talk about John Harbaugh. That's point number 4. We're going to talk about that in just a bit. Tanja, good to see you. I hope you're well. Girl, I was so disgusted last night. Me too. It was the kind of disgust where I didn't want to come on live, but I had to. And I wanted to be with you all, because you kind of helped me through it. But yeah, these deep extended routes were ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. Continuously trying to gain all these passing yards, but for what? You lose the game. Why? Because at the end of the day, we're going to get into point number 3, which is just Justin Tucker. But my point is, if you are going up against a mediocre D-line, a below average D-line, a poor D-line, go ahead. Pass away. Have a passing field day, because your O-line can stand up to the test. Not so much when you're looking at playoff contending teams with very good defensive lines. It doesn't work. I knew this offensive line would get exposed eventually. Wow. I need to star that. Let me put a little star next to that, because I'm going to come back to that probably in the next show. Yeah. Lamar Keepers into a brick wall. Yep. He keeps running into a brick wall. Monken is Roman. And I think Don Royal or someone else, I can't recall, said it earlier in the show. Maybe it was Ramsey J. I don't remember. But yes, it's like Todd Monken all over again. That to me goes back to, this is the philosophy of this organization. And until the ideology changes, the mindset, the framework, unless that changes, we're going to see the same patterns repeating itself. We're going to see the offense kind of stall in big moments. And everybody obviously is going to want to place blame on Lamar Jackson because he's the quarterback. Well, it's all on Lamar Jackson. He's not all that he's supposed to be. Y'all said he was going to be. Okay, but I've just dissected that as to the why. And Tanja did too. Thank you. You're absolutely right. So, wow, you guys are giving them an F? The O-line an F, a D plus? I'm with you, with your MDT Sports. Yeah, pretty much. 86 Ghost is here. Thank you. One of my amazing channel members. Thank you. Shout out to you, 86 Ghost. And if you would like to join and become an amazing channel member too, there is a link in the description. You can hit the join button. It will bring up all of the tiers that are available to you. Yes, Tanja, me too. I woke up sad. I had to pray my way through it this morning. I was like, yeah, very sad. I feel your pain. And I think the problem is we didn't have to lose that game. And the reason why we didn't have to lose, let me show you something. Look at this. This one caught me off guard. Caught me off guard. Right? It's this one. There we go. It might be really small to see because I'm doing a vertical live stream. Hey, Black Daniels, thank you for being here. It might be very small to see, screenshot it and then enlarge it later. But if you look at all of the major stats and all of the categories that are really important, your passing yards, total yards, rushing yards, yards per play, this is astounding. The Ravens won in every single category. We exceeded the Eagles in every one. Every one. Yet we came in second place. The one thing that I have been crying, begging, pleading, please, Ravens, get the penalties under control. And what did we do this game? We finally got the penalties under control, but we didn't win. Again, we came in second place. Why? I don't like to put all the blame on one person, and I'm not going to, because I've just discussed several reasons as to why Lamar Jackson wasn't himself yesterday, why the O-line wasn't, I want to say up to par, but that's kind of like an understatement. But look at this. Look at these numbers. You can't tell me that we should not have won this game. When you have numbers like this in every category, who is the better team? Someone left a message on one of my live streams. Well, we're they're Eagles fan. We were the better team, so the better team won. I take issue with that. You might have been the more coached up team, and I'll leave it at that. But yes, we have playmakers just like they do. Because if we didn't have playmakers, we wouldn't put up the numbers that we did. But yet, here we go, back to my point. We still didn't pull out the victory. We still didn't get it done. Point number 3, Justin Tucker. It's time to have the conversation. It's time. And it's difficult. It's uncomfortable. It's one of those things where you don't want to talk about something, but you have to. I'm going to talk about it. I've never shied away from uncomfortable conversations, no matter how difficult they might be. John Harbaugh said in his presser, I personally didn't even listen to the presser yesterday because I was so annoyed and I didn't want to hear we believe in our guys and we just got to do better. And, we're going to work through it this off during the bye week and we're going to come back and, we're going to fix a few things. It's just a couple of minor issues that we need to tweak. I don't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. But from what I listened to the presser today, or what I didn't listen to all of it. I didn't have the appetite for it. But he said that he doubled down that there's still no desire to bring in an additional kicker. There isn't. They're going with Justin Tucker, and that's the way it shall be. The end. Okay. Wow. Oh. But you, John Harbaugh, are okay with benching players who are productive, such as Marcus Peters. Yeah, I took it back. I took it way back, but it's true. And currently, you're okay with benching players such as Ben Cleveland, Deontay Johnson, but yet you're not willing to give the same type of disciplinary action against Justin Tucker. And, I've seen people say, even in my comment section, Justin Tucker didn't lose you the game. Even if you did, even if he did make those field goals and extra point, you still would have lost. Well, wait a minute. Now, listen, I'm no mathematician. Okay, there's a running joke. I went to law school because I'm not good in math. I'm a lawyer because, listen, math ain't my thing, right? But you can't tell me that if Justin Tucker had not missed those points, that's probably a double negative. If Justin Tucker made those extra field goals, 2 of them, one extra point and 2 field goals for a total of 7 points, and we lost by 5, to me, I think that would be a win, but I could be wrong. Again, I'm not good in math, but I just want to address that. So with that, I am sitting here thinking, okay, well, why are you comfortable, John Harbaugh, with having Justin Tucker continue to be your go-to when you see the fruit of his labor ends in 7 points that are left on this field? Yet we signed Deontay Johnson and we see what from him? Nothing. And if you mean to tell me that that's okay, then you know what? Maybe I'm in the wrong business, because I don't know. It just doesn't work. But that's kind of my thoughts on Justin Tucker. we need to look into bringing an additional kicker for him, bring in some competition, because if we see that it's not consistent down the stretch in these important games where a game is decided by 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, and we can't rely on Old Faithful anymore to be consistent, to be accurate, and to make the field goal and extra points, then we need to look into plan B. We just need to look into plan B. That's it. That's it. I see you, Sip to Tally. Coach Evans is here. I was talking about you earlier. Your ears might have been burning. I was talking about you earlier. I discussed in the beginning of the show. And make sure you go over, subscribe, click on his avatar, subscribe to his channel. Excellent film breakdown, like no other. You can thank me later. But he talked about we talked about earlier on the show, the offensive line. And I like to break down the why. Lamar Jackson was off yesterday, didn't have a great game, but why? And we talked about it at the beginning of the show. I won't rehash. But Dan Tana is here, my guy. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I see a couple of new faces and new avatars, and I'm going to try and pronounce your names. And if I mess up your name, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm out here trying, okay? But I do see all of you. Pharaoh, if Tucker made those points, the Eagles wouldn't have been playing prevent defense at the end. Yeah, and they said, the comments that I saw were, well, we sat all of our starters down because we knew that the game was in a bag, and you guys came and, it was like, just no reason for y'all to try and score an extra, points at the end, and it wasn't really anything to credit to your team, and blah, 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 blah. The bottom line is, if we had those 7 additional points, the score would have been different. So that's it. That's it. Dre, too tough. Tucker lost us 3 games, missing field goals, put the opponent in shorter field position. True enough. True enough. And again, I mentioned I'm not one that places blame wholly on one person. That I don't do that typically unless it's something seriously egregious. But to me yesterday, there was enough fault to go around. There was. Let me end here with John Harbaugh. I saved the best for last. If you are here and you are enjoying the content, please make sure to double tap that like button for me. Hit the like button. Let me know. It does help the channel a ton. Let me know that you like these kind of pop-up live streams in the afternoon, especially when we come in second place. I need to talk it out, okay? I need to talk through it. And I appreciate you all for talking with me. Let's end with John Harbaugh. He commented on he was asked about why Deontay Johnson did not see the field. And his response was pretty curt, pretty short clip, right? It was, I'm not ready to talk about it, and I don't have all of the information. And, when I get all the information, I'll be okay to share some more. Oh, all the information. See, this is when I need to put my lawyer hat down, right? This is when I just need to stop doing that because I have questions. What information? What do you mean information? Okay, let me move on. Because it didn't make sense to me what he said, and it wasn't computing. I don't have all of the information. Deontay Johnson just got here a couple of weeks ago. I think we signed him in early November. So he's been here less than a month. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave that alone. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I see you, Brandon Humble. Thank you very much. Bring back Billy Cundiff. Listen, at this point, we need all the help we can get. All the help we can get. Thank you, Rave Kingdom. Yes, if you are here, hit the like button, and if you're enjoying the content, subscribe, join the family, please. Yeah, being funny, Brandon Humble, look, bring back Billy Cundiff. Look, if Billy Cundiff can help us, I'm not saying that he can, but no, seriously, we're in need of some changes, right? We are. We certainly are. I appreciate the super chat. But the second thing I want to mention is in terms of John Harbaugh. I touched on it earlier. Let me explain what I meant by this is where I'm more than a little, but I'm bothered, right? You, as a head coach, refuse to put players on the field who might, I'm not saying they definitely would, but they are bound to be better than what we see now. You will not put Voorhees on the field and leave him there. You will not put Ben Cleveland on the field and leave him there. And we think that Falele is getting the job done. So those are just kind of my thoughts. Carlos, thanks for joining. The Rogue Pod, Hendo from the Rogue Pod, thank you for being here. It's not horrible. He's just terrible. It's just terrible. Harbaugh needs to be fired. Tucker is deteriorating in real time. That's sad. It's sad. It is, because he's been so good for the team for so long, for so many years. But at some point, time does catch up with you. And this is where I need a head coach to realize that. Like, hey, during this bye week, we're going to look into some other options. But nope, that's not what he said. He said, we're sticking with Justin Tucker. We believe in him and we know that he's going to get it right. Well, what if he doesn't? Because the evidence that's presenting itself this season is showing you that more often than not, he's not getting it right. That's something to consider. Thank you, Zeke, for being here. Thank you. Good afternoon to you. John Horrible. I see you, RG. Thank you for joining. Rave Kingdom. Information. That's what I said. I don't have all the information. Okay. Do with that what you will. Agro Valley Farms wants to know, when is Keaton Mitchell going to play? Is he still injured? I don't know when he's going to play. We've seen him come out a couple of times, not in this last game. He was inactive, but we have seen him a couple of times, I think on special teams maybe. But when is he going to play and get some meaningful snaps? I've not heard that he had a setback. Only reports that I was hearing was that he was, he was healthy. He was good to go. He was medically cleared to play. So when is he going to be utilized? I don't know. When is Deontay Johnson going to be used? Because let's put Deontay Johnson and see if he can catch the ball more so than Nelson Aguilar. Oops, I said it. Okay. See, now it's time for me to go. It's time. It's time for me to go. I've said too much. I've kept you too long. But those are kind of my thoughts about the team. And hey there, Go Man. Thanks for joining. Those are kind of my thoughts about the team. And the state of the Ravens right now is, unless we see some major changes, unless we see change in direction, and I don't think it's going to happen, we are going to be a good team, teetering on even a great team. But we are, to me, that team that has all the potential. That's who we are. That's what we have shown. We are that team that has all the potential. And whoever just gave me a thumbs down, I love you too. Thank you. I appreciate you. But that's where we are at this time. So some changes need to be made. But with those changes come hard decisions. How do you tell Justin Tucker that I'm going to put you on the bench? That's a tough thing when you've been playing, he's been your kicker for so many years. To have that conversation is probably going to be difficult. It's going to be tough. So I don't know that we're willing to do it. And if we're not willing to do it, then we're going to just be a team that is good, teetering great, but we're one that has so much potential. Oh, that was the Hawk TV. He said he messed up. Okay, no worries. No problem. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing all right. Alicia, she said, now I'm sounding like Hendo. Ooh, now you know it's time to go. If I start to sound like Hendo, Alicia, you got to stop me. Just say, okay, turn off the live stream. Let me just hit the end button. It's time to go. It's time to go. But ladies, gentlemen, I appreciate you for joining. I will see you back very soon. During the month of December, I am releasing content every single day. You don't know what it will be. You don't know when it will be. It might be a surprise live stream in the middle of the day if I'm not at work, or it might be a live stream after I get off work. It might be a video after I get off work. It might be a short, whatever's on my mind, on my heart that particular day. I do plan to make some videos and discuss kind of like more advanced concepts for football because I have a lot of people, myself included, who are still learning this game. This is a very, very in-depth sport, and there's so much to learn. So I'm going to make some videos and release those as well. But make sure that your post notifications are turned on so that you never miss content that I release on this channel. I will see you all very, very soon. And I see a question before I go. Go Man wants to know, with Tucker, the good outweighs the bad, just no more misses. The good does outweigh the bad. You're right. However, there's a caveat to that. The problem with that statement is that the NFL is a sport. Football is a sport where it's what have you done for me now. It's not what have you done for me in the past 5, 10, 15 years. It's what have you done for me now. And if we look at what Justin Tucker has done in the aggregate for this year only, if you separate that from his incredible tenure as an amazing kicker for this team, and if you focus on what has he done this season, you've got to wonder, how much can we rely on him realistically? With that, family, I'm going to go, and I hope you all enjoy your day. I will see you very soon. Thanks for being here. Before you go, hit the like button twice for me, and I will catch you all in these internet streets really, really soon. Stay safe. God bless. And even when we come in second place, go Ravens.